Hello and welcome to this edition of Decode the South on Filter Kaapi. At this point in time, we are all talking about the health crisis that the world, including India, is facing. But a larger crisis is going to be the economic crisis. Of course, the stock market has been going down steadily. Now, both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh have announced that there will be huge salary cuts for government employees in both the Telugu states. Telangana was the first one to announce, saying 75% cut for the Chief Minister's salary. Andhra Pradesh has gone a step forward ahead and said 100% cut for MLAs, MPs, as well as the Chief Minister and the ministers. Let's get a perspective from Sudhir, who's Executive Editor at NDTV, following this story closely. What do you see has been the impact? Because there has been some resentment in some quarters, especially from government employees, retired employees, pensioners, that their salary has also seen a 50% cut. What do you see is going to be the impact of this kind of a cut in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana?
The reality is there before all of us. The reality is that the lockdown has meant completely that the taxes have dried up to zero, and you're in fact digging into your resources, the meager resources, in order to find this unprecedented kind of a health crisis that we are in. And right now the priority is really to save lives. So I would say, while there are a few voices which may be unhappy about this, there you do realize that we are going through something that is unprecedented, and therefore the government needs to do this. And it's not just the political executive, which means not just the chief minister and the ministers, the chairpersons of the different corporations, all of them taking a 75% cut in Telangana and 100% deferment. I wouldn't even call it a cut. They've all called it a deferment, which means that the salaries could possibly be paid at a time when the resource situation is much better. And there's going to be a 60% cut for the All India Service Officers, both in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, 50% cut for everyone else. And for the class 4 employees, there'll be a 10% cut in the salaries. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, but yes, at least you're getting a steady income. And that's something to be really grateful about at this time, when the government has to put everything that it has into one single focus of trying to ensure that healthcare reaches everyone who may be in need, and to ensure that people don't actually die of hunger at this time when there is no jobs and no earning at all.
People say that it's a little ironic because the Chief Minister KCR had also mentioned that the private sector should not ask anyone to to give them the option of working from home, not to ask anyone to leave their job, but at the same time actually deferring salaries for their own government employees. People see a bit of an irony in this entire situation.
He is not throwing out people. He is not asking them to stop coming to their jobs, or saying that this is the end of your working career. No, he's only saying there's a deferment in the payment of the salary. So that's a psychologically, there's no reason for huge distress. At least you have some steady income coming in. So I wouldn't call this as something harsh that the government has done, something that needed to be done, and that's why it is being done. But at the same time, I must appreciate for the Chief Minister for reassuring the farmers, who are going to be even otherwise a very, very vulnerable group, telling them that every grain that you are bringing, that you're producing, will be bought by the government in purchase centers that will be set up in the villages. There will be coupons that will be issued to the farmers, so you don't go and rush to the market yards. Those are going to be closed, because those are places where thousands of people come at one go. And he has said that every grain, maize, we are going to have a bumper harvest, which is actually very good news at a time when people are worried about food security. You have more than 50 lakh acres of standing crop, including you are expecting maize is going to be a bumper harvest, rice is going to be coming into the market. All that will be bought in purchase centers that will be set up in the villages. He said they're already under quarantine. They're in fact putting up these kind of blockades so that outsiders don't come. But he's saying, allow those teams in. We will buy all of that. And he's also promised big help to migrants, which is going to be again an economic cost.
Yes, urban employment, or rather urban unemployment, has been a huge crisis as far as this entire coronavirus pandemic is concerned. But how do you see the private sector reacting? The private sector obviously is under a whole lot of stress, given the fact that they have been told not to indulge in any kind of salary cuts or even salary deferments. How do you see the private sector actually navigating itself through this crisis?
A lot of that story is not going to come out, because if you want to hold on to your job, even if your boss is going to say that I won't pay you the salary for this month, or I will defer the salary, or I'll give you have have to take a cut. Not many people are going to be able to come out and complain about
Ironic
it.
because March, April, May, June is, I mean, this is really the time when people do their entire appraisal period, and then there is these increments which come at least by May, June.
This is not normal life. Normal life now post corona is over. What we saw, life as it was, salaries and some kind of increments, even all that is a thing of the past now. Now we have to look at it on a fresh slate. Yes, we should all stay healthy. We should all not go hungry, and therefore that kind of a social security is what we need to look at. And therefore, yes, already it's happening. People are being asked not to come, and they may not be paid salary, especially in the informal sector. That's the reason why the huge number of migrants. In fact, the chief minister also said the laborers need to be taken care of by the contractors. That's not going to happen. That's the reason why the chief minister has said 500 to every migrant who is chased here, because they will have other expenses other than food. Ready-made food will be given. And he's also talking about 12 kgs of either rice or wheat flour, because many of them are people from Bihar, MP, UP who need the rotis. And even in Andhra Pradesh, I must point out, pensions was a big thing for the most vulnerable sections of people, and the Andhra Pradesh government has now declared that they will do door delivery of the pension amounts so that people still have some cash left in hand.
Okay, so that's as far as the money situation from the government's perspective is concerned. Of course, the story is not over yet. The post-corona crisis that we will see, especially in the economy, the aftermath will actually be felt for a long, long time to come. And there will be no sector, absolutely no sector, that will find itself spared of the crisis that as it kind of picks up the pieces once the corona pandemic is hopefully behind us. Thank you very much for watching.